Sonia and Mike Winters. Barksdale was a busy guy down to first base last night. First pitch. And I didn't see a strike call there. That looked like it was right down the pipe, but some talk last night about the strike zone. Mike Winters last night might have been squeezed a little bit. Chris Coghlan leads off.
By both teams. Talking about the strike zone, especially the fastball down. A lot of players felt that a little inconsistent there.
Rather auspicious start already. 2 balls, no strikes. There's a strike call. Guess you have to be right over that plate. There's a very narrow zone from those umpires in this series.
Well, Casey can do that. He can hit those corners, and when he's really driving towards home plate after that big leg kick, he can keep the ball right there. I think that's where he has to live right there, down and away. So he needs that call from the home plate umpire. One of those classic drop and drive type of pitchers. Big high leg kick and then right over the top.
This will be for extra bases to the gap. Coghlan is on fire right now. Stops at second base. A guy who has been pushed into this leadoff role and has accepted it gladly. And look what he's been able to do lately.
Here's the defense that Cito Gaston sends out this afternoon. Lind, Wells, and Rios in the outfield. The middle of the diamond has been very good. Scudero and Hill have been great up the middle. Just 7 errors between them. And Raul Chavez gets the start with Rod Barajas the day off after a big night game and a travel day before that.
So already 5 hits in this series. It's the second game for Chris Coghlan. Ross Glode, the first baseman for the Marlins, with a runner already in scoring position. Aaron Hill looks and fields, and advancing to third will be Coghlan.
It's just like last night's ball game. A leadoff double by Coghlan. Glode gets him over. Ramirez got the first run of the game across quickly in the first inning with a sacrifice fly.
Here comes the multi-talented Hanley Ramirez. All-star shortstop. Former National League Rookie of the Year. Biggest money guy on the Marlins. Signed a contract extension. They feel he will be a part of their future in a big way. No doubt. Hitting .329 with 8 home runs and 31 RBIs. First pitch, and that's for extra bases, and that will easily score Coghlan. Ramirez will go, well, he puts the brakes on. He was going to third base, and he gets back quickly.
Yeah, aggressive base running right there by Ramirez. He was thinking 3 as soon as that ball went into the gap. If you can get to third with less than 2 outs, you're going to score a lot easier than from second base. You know, I think the first couple of pitches that were called for balls really did something to Jansen. He didn't get those calls, and now he says, I got to be a little bit finer. That pitch over the heart of the plate, and Hanley Ramirez rips it. They had a shot very briefly to throw behind them, but the ball was dropped by Scudero.
Now the DH today, Jorge Cantu. Predominantly first baseman for the Marlins.
Keep your eye on Ramirez at second base. We already saw him try and get to third base on that hit. He might want to try and steal to set up an RBI sac fly for Cantu.
Already a couple of hard-hit gappers by the Marlins, who lead 1-0 here in the top half of the first inning.
RBI leader for the Marlins, Jorge Cantu. He's 8th in the National League with those 43 driven in.
Ball and a strike. Jansen watches and fouled away.
Cantu has turned into a little bit of a slugger, hasn't he? He's put up some good numbers since going over the Marlins. And one of the things you watch and you see from him is he is right on top of home plate. He's back in the back of the box like that. You see his back foot right on that line. He hits from a little bit of an open stance, but look how close to the plate he is. And when you see batters like that, I think you've got to at least show him something inside like that so he doesn't hang out over the plate. Good pitch. Jansen did go in there.
Jorge Cantu, former Tampa Bay Ray. Good numbers in June so far. For this Marlin team, 3 games under 500. Here's the 2-2. And popped up to center field. Vernon Wells makes the catch for the second out here. Here comes Jeremy Hermida. Broke open the game in many ways last night in the 8th inning when it was a 2-2 game. 7-3 score really wasn't indicative of how close the game was until the late innings when Hermida started it with a double off the wall in center, and Dan Uggla followed with a walk, and John Baker got hit by a pitch, and then Cody Ross did you know what if you were watching last night, a grand slam home run.
Just an ugly inning. I thought the big at bat in that inning, Rod, was the walk to Dan Uggla, second batter. It still set up the double play. They were sacrificing with Baker. They hit him, and then the floodgates opened up with 5 runs scoring.
Behind Hermida, Dan Uggla. Is it an ugly inning or an ugly inning? Power hitting second baseman. Fullback like body. That number, interleague career, that's not only reflective of Casey Jansen, but this entire Blue Jay club through its history. Blue Jays have not had success in interleague play. 101 wins, 114 losses, and normally, I say normally, conventionally, the American League takes it to the National League in interleague play. Not for the Blue Jays.
The problem has been on the road. They really haven't had any problem at home interleague.
Scudero nowhere to go. Bautista was ranging over there too, so Scudero decides to eat it, and now runners at the corners.
You know, that's the way this game is sometimes. You make a good pitch, you jam a guy. He doesn't hit the ball very hard, very soft ground ball, but it's just placed perfectly between Bautista and Scudero. And you're right, nothing that Marco could do with that. Watch where Casey throws this ball, right in on his hands. He jams himself, an inside out swing. Softly, 1, 2, 3 bounces, and he comes up with an infield single. We saw that about 4 or 5 times last night.
Yeah, no one hit the ball particularly hard except for Cody Ross. Nickel and dime stuff last night, but hey, it still works, and the Marlins still got the win. And here's Uggla, 218 average, 11 home runs, and 40 RBIs. All-star last year as well.
Club leader in home runs. Lights the ball in and up.
This was a team that hit a ton of home runs last year. Their infield, biggest hitting infield in baseball. Uggla was part of that. Ball and a strike. Chavez trying to show that ball on that corner of the plate, but not getting the call, and something from the dugout from the Blue Jays. So they're not happy with it. It started already, huh?
Yeah, top of the first inning. Home plate umpire Lance Barksdale signaling to the dugout that that ball was outside.
There's a strike. Now 2-2 again. Runners at the corners, 2 away. Wall ready. 1-0 Florida.
Doc threw 22 pitches in the first inning yesterday. Really made him work. Already 20 for Casey here.
Trying to bust him inside, and now a full count. And he got him. Talk about an inning that was so similar to last night. Marlins lead 1-0. Hanley Ramirez with another RBI. Bottom of the first. When we come back, and Sean West. And guys who are struggling a little bit with the bat right now include Aaron Hill over his last 10 games. Remember, he went through his 0 for 25, snapped out of it. Vernon Wells also scuffling, and Alex Rios. See what he's done over the last 11 games. Did have a couple of hits last night. But they need Wells and Rios to start getting it in gear.
They will be facing Sean West, who had his best outing of the season in his last start. Through 8 shutout innings against the Giants, allowed just 2 hits and walked 1. He combined with Leo Nunez in that game to throw Florida's first shutout of the season. He's tall, he's rangy, he's got a very good arm. Got to make him throw strikes.
Marco Scutaro. Just 1 hit last night. I say just 1. We're used to a little more from the kind of season he's had so far. Scutaro single in the first inning last night.
He had a streak earlier a couple of weeks ago that was broken of multi-hit games. 7 in a row. That'll help that average.
His on-base percentage is pretty good too. Scutaro has reached safely by a hit walk or a hit by pitch 118 times this season. It's the second highest in the majors, best in the American League.
He's a pitch away from taking a walk to lead off this inning.
And that's what leadoff guys do. Get on base. And he does it again.
Yeah, you have to make him throw strikes, Sean West. He's got a mid-90s fastball, so he's got a very good arm. One of those power sliders, that's what he will use for his strikeouts. And working down, he's 6'8". Okay, so they want to make sure that he's working on a downward plane. When he does, he can keep the ball on the ground. He's given up a lot of fly ball outs in his last 3 starts.
Aaron Hill, fly ball to left field to the track and caught. by Coghlan. Just missed it.
You know, it had the sound, didn't it?
Yes, it did.
If you're around baseball a lot, you know a sound of a solid hit. But it was just off the end of the bat, just a little bit, driving Coghlan right to the base of the wall for the first out. Guy walks the leadoff batter. Why not look for first pitch fastball and try and turn on it? It almost worked out for him.
There is a guy who loves that first pitch. Vernon Wells. Ball there. Just 5 home runs, 28 RBIs. Cito Gaston moving him to the number 3 slot. Adam Lind on deck. Blue Jays have not hit the ball very hard the last couple of games, Mr. Tabler.
Shut out in Texas against a good pitcher in Kevin Millwood. Ricky Nolasco was very good last night. 9 punch outs. These kind of guys, I think Vernon matches up well with. Hard throwing lefties where you know you're going to get a fastball at some point.
Dan Uggla, pop out by Vernon Wells. And Adam Lind, arguably the Blue Jays' most efficient hitter over the last couple of weeks. Really a promotion to the cleanup spot for him. Last night, however, 0 for 4. Hitting .404 over his last 13. 12 home runs, 45 RBIs.
And he doesn't have any problem with left-handed pitchers. They try and pitch him away a lot of times, and he's done a good job of really staying on that ball. When he first came up, it looked like he was having trouble with lefties, kind of opening up that front shoulder a little bit too much. Pulling open, now he stays right on it. That's why the outfield really plays him straight up. Got a very big lead over there at first base by Marco Scutaro.
John Baker comes out. See what that goalie type mask that was invented by Charlie O'Brien when he was with the Toronto Blue Jays.
Probably wishes he was wearing it a couple of days ago.
He might stay wearing that mask for a while.
He says he will.
Nailed by Albert Pujols on a follow through. Nailed last night as well. Beaten by Brandon League last night as he squared around right in the kneecap.
There's that start for Sean West against the Giants and his idol Randy Johnson. Well, I really think that Marco Scutaro is in his head. 3-0 now to Adam Lind with 2 outs, a runner on first base. Your concentration should be the guy at the plate. Marco's kind of playing cat and mouse games with him over there, kind of taking a short lead and kind of breaking on the pitch, getting that walking lead like he is right there. I think that's why Baker went out there to talk to him and say, hey, look, there's 2 outs. Let's get this hitter right here. Forget about him.
Good count here for Lind. Little dribbler to Ramirez, however. Scutaro stranded. 1-0 Marlins. And to do up, last night's hero, Cody Ross. Look at Albert Pujols, one of the biggest swingers in the game, knocks off that traditional style mask, takes a cut to the eye and swollen eye, and last night,
wow, right off the kneecap. Stayed in the ball game, and after that, one to the head, one to the knee. I thought for sure day game after a night game he'd be out.
He's a catcher.
He's a tough guy.
He's a catcher. Catchers are tough. All that squatting around, taking shots off the chest protector and their mask.
Had a couple of stitches put it in that forehead.
They're like goaltenders in hockey. What do they call them? The tools of ignorance?
Yeah.
2 balls and a strike now to John Baker. Cody Ross will follow, then Wes Helms gets the start at third base today. Ross on deck, of course, last night. The grand salami in the 8th. Easy play for Aaron Hill. So yeah, Brandon Lee came in the game again. Halliday started. Scott Richmond played Hold'em, and Jesse Carlson came in. Then Brandon Lee, and then this.
Well, what hurt, it was an 0-2 pitch, and that was the pitch. Looked like one of those split change that we've seen from Brandon Lee that have been so good, and he's got a ton of strikeouts, but that one just kind of floated over the plate, and nothing new from this guy.
Yeah, some guys go their entire career and never get a grand slam or never even get in the situation. He's had 3 grand slams this season.
5 in his career.
One strike to him. Ball getting away from Chavez. A guy who grew up Texas, New Mexico, and dreamed of being a rodeo clown.
He's really got a lot of that eye black working, doesn't he?
Doesn't he?
It's like a whole tube on the one side of his face.
When he was a kid, he wore the makeup. He was in kinder rodeo. He used to be a little kid rodeo clown, and thought maybe someday that would be his calling. Still likes the makeup. Kind of a hazy day today. Hit hard to center field again. Vernon Wells is back to the wall, and it's off the top of the wall. And Ross misses a home run by a millimeter or so.
You know, on the top of the wall, there's an iron bar. I bet you it hit that bar instead of going off the top and out. I think it hit that bar and bounced back. We've seen that before here at Rogers Center. This ball, a breaking ball, hit the dead center field. It looks like Wells has a beat on it. Watch how it hits right off the top of the wall and comes back.
Here it is. You'll probably get the best look. Watch it.
Back.
Indeed, you're right.
There's that metal bar that keeps it in play and bounces back onto the field instead of over the fence.
Boy, he likes hitting here at Rogers Center. Just misses a home run, 1 away. Ross at second. Wes Helms, the number 9 hitter. Cody Ross, for his first time in Toronto in this park, has already had some memorable blasts. This is just Helms' 14th start of the season. He's had 11 at third base before today, 2 at first. Utility player. Fouls off that breaking pitch.
Yeah, he was a big prospect for the Atlanta Braves when he first came up. A corner infielder type with some power. If you make a mistake, he could hurt you. just 1 home run and 77 at-bats this year. Double digits a few years ago as a member of the Marlins. He spent some time with Philadelphia, Milwaukee. Told you about Atlanta.
Back to second, and so does Ross dive back. The best with a bullet down there. Going through the signs a lot here. It's kind of methodical sequence with Jansen.
Yeah, you'll get signs from the infielders that they'll flash to the catchers that if they want some kind of pickoff play from the catcher, and that'll be a set play.
And it looks like they'll go through the signs again. Bit of a grinding start here for Casey Jansen. Marlins leading 1-0. Four hits so far for Florida, 3 of them doubles. The 2-2.
You know, one of the things that I've noticed, and haven't had a chance to watch a lot of Marlins games this year, but what I've seen in the first couple here is when they get themselves behind in the count, 2 strikes, they really cut their swings down and foul off tough pitches. Saw it a lot last night with Halladay in the 3 innings he worked. The same with Richmond. Now Jansen with 2 strikes made a good pitch to him. He just kind of threw his bat at it and kept the bat alive.
Broken bat. Scudero has to hurry. Does. Gets the out. Ross is at third base.
And you throw a breaking ball away, a guy fouls off a tough pitch, you got to come right back inside because you know he's protecting that plate. Jam sandwich off the bat of Helms. Scudero has been playing some great shortstop this year. He knows he has time with Helms running. All in one motion, the scoop and the toss. Fine play by Marco Scudero.
Top of the order, Chris Coghlan. 5 of 6 so far here at Rogers Center. This one might be playable in foul territory, but Adam Lind did not get a good jump on it.
Playing deep, playing a deep left field. Coghlan looks like the type of player kind of sprays the ball all over the place with not a whole lot of power. Adam shortening up now a little bit more after that foul ball.
Coghlan, who spent some time in the minors, Marlins this year, really by accident was forced into the leadoff role. Said he hadn't batted leadoff since his high school days, and boy, he has made the best of it, and the best of it for his team so far.
Yeah, his season got off to a slow start offensively, but the Marlins noticed that his on-base percentage was still way up there, even though he's hitting under 200. And they look back in the numbers and they say this guy is walking a lot. He's got a good eye. Even though he's hitting just 264, his on-base percentage is up over 370. Sees a lot of pitches, tough to strike out. Tommy Hutton telling us that he will just battle you. There's another one.
It's kind of the little jam shot, although it went fair last night, that Coghlan began the game with off of Roy Halladay. And again, if you're just joining us, the word on Roy Halladay is still no word on that groin injury. See the doctors today. They will know more. 1-2 inside. Speculation that if they did have to DL Halladay, maybe Tuesday perhaps, retro him. And again, this is only speculation. Keep him away from the National League parks where you might have to do some running and that. You just can't mess around with a groin. And
well, what happens when you have a bad groin, if it's not 100% healed, you could start tweaking the way you throw, kind of compensating for your lower half, and then your upper half starts hurting.
3-2. Fouled away again.
So after this series and an off day on Monday, the Blue Jays head out to Philadelphia and Washington. They have not had any luck down in Atlanta, and so far in this series, they lost that. Philly and Washington, that's when the pitchers get to grab some lumber.
So, do it again, 3-2. Lights off another breaking pitch. Halladay's next scheduled start would be Wednesday in Philadelphia. But again, just the way he walked off last night, it didn't look like he was in a lot of pain. He looked more perturbed and angry than anything that he tweaked this groin. That can be a bothersome injury.
If you go on the 15-day DL, you only miss 2 starts. So we'll see when we hear something from the Jays. Boy, look at this at bat that Coghlan's putting together. Cutting down that swing with 2 strikes. Fouling off some really tough pitches by Jansen. We'll do it again.
What an at-bat. Rios comes forward to make the play. Finally get this guy out. Coghlan has killed the Jays. And inside our video department, there's the boys. Mike Sparks, Pat Denardis working hard, keeping you honest out there. We'll be in 61 and 47 at Rogers Center.
No problem here for the Jays in their career in interleague. It's when they go out on the road, Blackie, where they have really struggled. 30 games under 500 away from Rogers Center in interleague play.
Kevin Millar DHing today. Up against Sean West. Millar began his baseball career. Some people may know he was a replacement player back in 94, 95, and began his career with the Florida Marlins. Part of that organization back in 1998. The year 2002, then went to the Red Sox and Baltimore. First season in Toronto. And drills one out to Coghlan. Gathers it in.
Can still turn on a fastball. And he likes it up where he can work with it. Just enough fastball to get in on Kevin, just a hair. Can still turn on it though. Look at that. Just in on him. Sean West has a good arm. He was voted by their Baseball America as having the best slider in their organization. Started the year in Double-A. Was leading the Southern League in strikeouts when he was called up at the end of May. And there was talk that he was just going to pitch for a little bit while Anibal Sanchez was on the disabled list. But he has pitched so well, this guy might stick around even when Sanchez gets back.
Alex Rios. 2 balls and a strike to Rios. Trying to get a streak going the other way last night. 2 for 4.
What was good to see in last night's game is they tried to pitch Rios in, and he hit the ball hard to left field down in the corner, kept it fair. That was a ball that he was having trouble with, and he was hooking foul, just wasn't getting ready, or he was a little late on it. Hitting is all about timing and seeing the ball, and I think if you do that, the hits are going to come.
The 3-2 pitch up the middle for another base hit for Alex Rios. So this shuffle in the order so far paying some dividends for the struggling Alex Rios. Here's Cito Gaston.
Well, yeah, and it wasn't like I just reached in the sky and did that. I spoke to those guys before we went on the last road trip and told them we might have to do something, and certainly we couldn't win without them. So we still need their help no matter where they're hitting, because in baseball it doesn't matter where you move guys, they seem to come up in crucial situations anyway. But I was hoping that it might take a little pressure off of them, and they can relax a little bit and swing the bat a little bit better.
Take a little pressure off and maybe see his at-bats in a different light and from a different angle. Instead of guaranteed coming up in the first inning, maybe you have an inning to kind of get into the flow of the game when you're hitting sixth. I mean, it's worked so far, right?
Well, they've split them up. There was a real serious lack of productivity from 3 and 4 in this lineup. So Wells goes to 3 from 4, and Rios goes from 3 to 6. Lyle Overbay has had a terrific month last few weeks. Last night, however, 0 for 4 for Overbay. Cito's always been a proponent. He says the order is important, obviously, but I know you've talked about it. Saying the leadoff hitter doesn't mean he's necessarily going to lead off. I mean,
no.
It only happens once.
Yeah, he only leads off one
Maybe
time.
Once.
I think the whole key to having a good lineup is bunching your hot hitters together at the same time, so when they come up, maybe they have a way to keep the inning going. When you have guys, a couple of guys who aren't going well, it seems like they're always coming up in big situations and not coming through. Bunch those hot hitters. I think we saw it in Texas when Lynn, Rowland, and Overbay, who were hot, were all back to back to back. All 3 of them had a huge series down in Texas.
Second walk issued by Sean West. Rios, who stole 2 bases last night, is now at second base in scoring position, and the Blue Jays threatening one away Jose Bautista.
Mark Wiley, the pitching coach for the Marlins, detects something in Sean West, and they want to talk about it.
All the kids at the ballpark today, and some of them are going to be staying overnight, sleep overnight here tonight. Junior J Saturday. The next one's June 27th against the Phillies. You come down to participate in the Passport program. You collect 3 stamps. You get a miniature Alex Rios bobblehead, so you'll see the kids scurrying around today and trying to get an Adam Lind bobblehead. Call 416-341-1234 or bluejays.com/juniorjays to learn more about a great program for the kids. And, of course, after the game, they get to run the bases, and I think that's the highlight of the day for them.
This is a full day, isn't it? They get to check out the locker rooms.
Yeah, autographs, some shows later, watch a movie on the big screen tonight, and, of course, bother their parents because they are not going to sleep. You know that. Be a lot of fun. What a thrill for them.
Will it be a thrill for you?
I know.
Did you bring your cot?
I'm a rookie at it. So.
I could have a bed sent down from the hotel here, so you don't have to sleep on the turf.
That hotel is looking rather tempting.
I'll get the cot ready.
Yeah, that's right. There's a strike now. Ball and a strike.
Bob, you're out. Blackie's coming down. You're out.
It's my roomie tonight. It's Bobby Layden. Floor director into the corner. And the catch made by Hermida. And Alex Rios.
He had a base running gaffe in last night's game when he didn't advance on a little ground ball to the shortstop.
You would think there's a good chance there to tag and go.
Well, what you have to do is you have to read, is the ball off the wall or over the wall? That's it. And when it's a fly ball like that with his speed, all he has to do is read that the outfielder is going to make the catch. He went halfway instead of staying right around that dirt area right there and reading the outfielder. Hermida was going to make that catch. You could tell off the bat that he was going to make the catch. His momentum was taking him away from third base. He could have gone back and tagged and easily gone to third.
Now the catcher, Raul Chavez. One home run, 4 RBIs, and a .273 average. Think about getting Rios to third base here. People might say, well, it's still 2 away, but West has had some command problems around the plate. Wild pitch would tie this game.
He's already had a couple of wild pitches this year, has West, in just 24 innings.
Two balls, no strikes, 2 out. 1-0 Florida. Ripped down the line, foul. A fly ball out to Hermida again. And that's 3 away. 2 stranded by the Blue Jays. We head to the third. how about that three-pointer from Derek Fisher the other night? 7 o'clock Eastern. Tomorrow night, our pregame show leading up to Game 5. Lakers and Magic. Here we are at Rogers Center a day after the Pittsburgh Penguins win the Stanley Cup.
Hey, after the game, we got to hang around here and
watch the celebration.
Watch some hockey.
We've turned you a little bit into a hockey fan, haven't we?
I had no idea what you guys were talking about.
It's all right. Ross Glode. And another base hit off of Casey Janssen here. Leading off the third inning, a 1-0 game. Hanley Ramirez now to follow, and Ramirez cashed that only run back in the first inning.
You know, they might not have the gaudy stats that we have seen from other teams, big power numbers, but they have put together some good at-bats against the Blue Jays the first 2 games here. Glode stay right on that one. And now Casey's got to face a good hitter in Hanley Ramirez.
Whoa. Oh.
The bat went farther than the ball.
Yeah.
He is really a player with great bat speed, foot speed as the bat leaves him. And he's really an unsung kind of guy. You know, a lot of people don't know how good Hanley Ramirez is.
Haven't heard a lot about him, you know, where he has played. The Marlins were in the wild card last year, considering their low payroll. $21 million last year. 84 win season. Freddie Gonzalez named the Sporting News Manager of the Year in the National League. See a lot about the Marlins. Hear a lot about them. This guy is a talent, though.
Yeah, he had 20 home runs and 20 stolen bases by the All-Star break last year. Just the 10th player ever to do that since 1963. Power and speed. That's why Freddie Gonzalez, the manager of the Marlins, wanted him in more RBI situations by moving him down into the 3-hole.
Think about the Select Company. He was part of the 30-30 club, a tough club to join. 30 home runs, 30 steals. The only other shortstops to do that, Barry Larkin, Jimmy Rollins, and A-Rod, Alex Rodriguez, when he was a shortstop.
They had to give up a lot to get him from the Boston Red Sox, but it's one of those foundation type players that can be the face of your franchise.
2-2 pitch. Bautista, nice play to get the lead runner. Jose Bautista getting the start today. Scott Rowland a day off, and with the smother and the throw over to Aaron Hill.
That was a pretty play by Bautista. He's ping-pong back and forth between left field and third base, so that is hard to do, to play in the outfield and then come into the infield. That ball gets on you awfully quick, but spins the other way, makes a nice throw to Hill, and does a good job of just holding on to that ball. They were not going to turn 2 on that play.
Jorge Cantu. Fly ball out in the first inning. Rakes at that first pitch, and Aaron Hill has it. Out number 2. You mentioned Ramirez, now stationed at first. What they had to give up to get him. Remember, he was a member of the Boston Red Sox. Josh Beckett, Mike Lowell, and Guillermo Moto.
Well, he leads in runs, hits, and doubles. That's where he ranks in the National League since 2006. That trade was made right before that season. He's been in the big leagues ever since.
Jeremy Hermida. Ramirez has been bothered by groin pull lately. Had shoulder problems in 07. Boy, but he broke out in a big way last year. In fact, that infield for the Marlins, we talked about their power. First time in Major League history, 4 players in the infield. The infield had 30 home runs apiece. Ramirez, Mike Jacobs, no longer with the Marlins, 32, Dan Uggla, and Jorge Cantu. Hermida. Rios watches it, and it goes. Talk of power, there it was. And there she goes. 2-run shot.
I know that's one thing that they've talked about Jeremy Hermida. When you find yourself into a good hitter's count and you can sit on a fastball, go ahead and take a good aggressive swing at it. He got himself ahead 1-0. Looked like it might have been like a little cutter, and he took a good whack at it. Home run number 8 right into the bullpen of the Marlins.
Right behind him is one of those guys who was over 30 last year. Dan Uggla. Free swinger. Marlins second in home runs last year behind Philadelphia. And 208 the Marlins did. Their problem wasn't hitting the ball, it was trying to catch and throw
the
it.
ball.
Still is. The 0-2. Bautista has to make a long throw. He does, and he gets him. But Jeremy Hermida got Casey Jansen. 2-run shot. Bautista a couple of good defensive plays. But the Marlins now go out in front 3-zip thanks to this. Top of the order coming up for the Blue Jays. More access to exclusive kids club events, ticket and merchandise discounts. Membership only $14.95. A great deal for the kids. 416-341-1715 or visit bluejays.com/kids. A lot of kids in the house today. Good crowd on hand and a nice day for baseball. Bottom of the third. Not so nice right now for the Toronto Blue Jays. Down 3-0. Marco Scutero, Aaron Hill, Vernon Wells. Second time around here against Sean West.
They have the right guy up there leading off an inning. On base percentage now up over 400 for Scudero.
West leaves that glove up there until he's ready. Lets it fly. Guy who recently met up with his idol, Randy Johnson, had a chance to meet him in the locker room, but didn't go up and say hi or anything.
In the weight room.
Yeah.
2 days in a row, he had a chance to talk with him and was tongue-tied.
Yeah. Most major leaguers have had a chance to meet their boyhood hero at some point. I know you had a chance. I think Pete Rose was the guy that you most admired.
He was one. Johnny Bench.
Yeah.
I still have trouble talking to Johnny Bench.
Really, huh?
Yeah, I was like, sir? Tony Perez, same way.
2 balls and 2 strikes.
That's nothing new.
Remember Travis Snyder last year in Chicago and had a chance, and we knew that he admired Ken Griffey growing up in the Seattle area, and he looked like a little boy going over to meet his hero, and Griffey came over, so nice to him. Scudero fouls it away.
Yeah, he looked starstruck, didn't he? A little bit.
You lose that quickly, though, when you get to the big leagues. It takes maybe the first game, and then he sees Ken Griffey out there and realizes, you know what, I'm playing with him and against him.
Competing against him. Now you want to beat him.
The 2-2.
We were talking how having Scudero and Hill, the right guys leading off, if you find yourself behind, they have been so productive this year, Scudero and Hill. Their combined RBIs are the best in all of baseball of second basemen and shortstops. 73 driven in between these two.
Scudero's having an at-bat like Chris Coughlin had. 2 leadoff guys. Number of foul balls. There's Aaron next.
Hey, look at him studying that pitcher. His eyes haven't left that pitcher, forming his thoughts on what he wants to do when he comes up.
High in the air. Cody Ross under it. That will bring up Aaron Hill. You know, back to playing against your heroes or meeting your heroes. I think it happens to a lot of players if their heroes are still in the game, but the players who can get over that star-struck feeling the quickest about just being in the show, and you think about an Aaron Hill, and that's what he was able to do. You get over that quickly. Get used to the environment. You know, you adopt a little easier.
I think that's why you're starting to see a lot of sons of former major leaguers in the big leagues, because this is just
they've been
nothing.
there.
Yeah.
Been in the clubhouse, been around it.
Grew up around it.
Saw their dad do it. There's a lot to that.
Yeah. You got good genes. That's a start. But you're right. The mental part of it, like, hey, I belong here. Nothing intimidates me because I've seen it my whole life.
That's tap back up the middle. Ugla makes the play. Second baseman to second baseman. Here comes Vernon Wells. Wells 0 for his last 10. Make it 0 for his last 11. Only 4 hits over his last 39 at bats, and his struggles continue. As we go to the 4th inning, Sean West pitching a shutout. Leading off is John Baker, catcher for the Fish. Marlins, who again do not have one of the highest payrolls, in fact one of the lowest payrolls in baseball. Team, however, that says they do not want to be spoilers, they want to be contenders in the National League East.
They were contenders last year.
And ended up being a major spoiler.
Yep.
To the New York Mets' fortunes.
They might not have that big payroll that you talk about, but they've got a great farm system. A lot of young players. They do a good job of scouting and then drafting and then developing their players. You know, something else that they've done a good job in is if they need to make trades, they've done a good job of scouting other organizations and finding the top prospects from those other organizations and then trading for them. We talked about Hanley Ramirez last inning.
You know, you look at all the expansion teams that have come into baseball in the last few years, and you know, the Arizona Diamondbacks and the Tampa Bay Rays, Colorado Rockies, and they've all had their little blips of success. Arizona won the World Series, of course, but no team has had as much success as the Florida Marlins, winning 2 World Championships
in such a short time. When was their first year? 94, 93? And they won in 97?
Then a lot of those big name superstar players that were part of their championships, Gary Sheffield and Bobby Bonilla back in 97, were quickly jettisoned. And then Derek Lee and Pudge Rodriguez in 2003, they were gone. And Dontrell Willis and Miguel Cabrera. There's Cody Ross. This guy's been mashing the ball at Rogers Center the last. And guess what? Down the line, hooking, and Cody Ross has hit a home run. Man, he loves this place. Grand slam last night. Missed a home run by a couple of inches in his last at bat, and this time a 2-run shot, and it's 5-0.
Yeah, not really any doubt on that ball from Ross. Looking for a first pitch. Home run number 10. He is going to jump all over this quickly. A little hanging breaking ball right down the line. That's a home run swing right there. Coming into this game, Casey Janssen had only given up 2 home runs in his 4 starts. He's given up 2 already here this afternoon.
Cody Ross was 0 for 3 last night until the 8th inning. Hit a grand slam. Missed a home run in the 2nd inning here today and did not miss that one. And once again, the Blue Jays are seriously behind the 8 ball against the visiting Florida Marlins. Wes Helms now the number 9 hitter. And action in the Blue Jay bullpen. Sean Camp is up. Ball and 2 strikes. Yesterday, last night, Roy Halladay lasted just barely into the 4th inning before he left the game. Scott Richmond then came in, did a very effective job for a few innings. Then the roof fell in the 8th against Brandon League.
You know, Cito Gaston wants Casey to go a little bit farther than pitching into the 4th inning.
Straight up in the air. Scudero handles it himself. Florida Marlins baseball, a game of numbers, Mr. Tabler, as you know, and the Florida Marlins have had the Blue Jays number.
Yeah, you can make all kind of stories with the numbers that we've seen here. Now 7 home runs for the Marlins to just 1 for the Jays. They've won the last 6 times they've faced each other. I remember doing that series down in Florida a few years ago. And it's looking a lot like this series where everything went their way. They hit the ball, they pitched the ball, they came up with big 2-out hits. If they needed a home run, they had that also.
Last time they met was 2006. They swept the Blue Jays. This is their first meeting in Toronto since 2001. All time, the Marlins 15-4 against the Blue Jays. 0-2 to Chris Coghlan. Last time he faced Jansen. Number of foul balls. Good at bat before he flied out to right field. Golfing one, slicing it out to left field for out number 2. And if you look at traditionally over the last few years, the Blue Jays have always kind of dug themselves a ditch in the month of June, just before the All-Star break. Kind of fell out of the race and had to rally back. One of the reasons they did that is because of their lack of success in interleague play.
Is it an interleague thing? But you're right, the June has been tough on them the last few years.
Want to stay in it, stay within striking distance before the All-Star break. Make a push, especially in what has become, many people think, is the toughest division in baseball, the American League East.
Well, I know Tampa hasn't played their best baseball, and I think it's just a matter of time before they do. They're just too good of a team. The Yankees and Boston, you still have to contend with those big boys, but the Jays are right there. They are right there with them.
Down the line, and it's fair. Ross Gload going to second. There's the throw. And Scutaro unable to make the tag. They had him. That was a good throw from Alex Rios, and Scutaro could not pick it up on the bounce.
Yeah, Alex is tied with Vernon Wells with the most outfield assists on this team with 3. And he had him right here. He makes a good throw, and it was that last throw, that short hop throw to Scutaro that just kind of bounces off the heel of his glove, right?
Yeah,
there.
Second bounce. Had him.
If it could have been a one bouncer, they would have had him, but that short hop, Glow slides into second base, and Cito slides out of the dugout.
Yeah, that's it for Casey Jansen for the second straight day. Their starting pitcher doesn't get to the 5th inning. Sean Camp will come in with 2 out and another man on, and the Marlins leading 5-0. struggles right from the get-go in this game. Gave up 1 in the first inning, 2 in the third, and 2 here in the fourth. Here's Sean Camp.
He'll have to be the long man now that Brian Talent is in the starting rotation. Camp has done a nice job for the Blue Jays. You see his numbers here. When he's got that turbo breaking ball going, he'll pick up a lot of strikeouts. There it is right there.
Ball and a strike to Hanley Ramirez. Scored a run, drove in a run today. That double back in the first inning. Jansen got off to a rocky start, and it got rockier. 2 strikes to Ramirez. Marlins have hit the ball hard. 4 doubles today, 2 home runs.
And when they don't hit the ball hard, they found a hole.
Yep, they did. Like last night.
Sean is well rested. He worked a week ago against Kansas City. 2 1/3 innings in that game.
Now a full count to Ramirez. He loses him. Jorge Cantu is on deck. Load at second. And he won't nibble.
He tried, didn't he? Got ahead 2 strikes and then tried to get Hanley Ramirez to bite on a breaking ball, but he wouldn't.
Cantu is 0 for 2 this afternoon. Took himself out of the lineup earlier this week from the Florida Marlins. Told his manager, Freddie Gonzalez, he suffering some bouts of dizziness because of a medication for high cholesterol, and decided to go off the medication. So took himself out of the lineup until he got some of his equilibrium back. Guy who was scouted as a 16-year-old. Jorge Cantu, a can't miss, they said.
Had some big years when he was with Tampa Bay at second base.
Yeah, got to second base primarily because of Robbie Alomar, who retired all of a sudden. Remember? Alomar suddenly left the game, and Cantu became their everyday second baseman. Ball and 2 strikes now. Sean Camp trying to hold it here. Cantu, center field. Vernon Wells tracking. That's it. Damage already inflicted. Cody Ross, a grand slam last night. 16 hours or so later, it's another bomb. This one to left field. No doubt about it. Marlins lead 5-0. home runs. Jeremy Hermida, Cody Ross, two-run shots. Adam Lynn leads off here. Kevin Millar, Alex Rios for the Blue Jays. Sean West has handcuffed them so far.
Yeah, it's time to figure out Sean West right here as that ball is hit on the ground to Ross Gload. As a hitting team, you can't think about having just one big inning. I think you need to chip away here. Get some guys on. Get a run here, a couple of runs there. Get into the later stages of the game. You're within striking distance, and then take your chances later on.
Can't get it all back with one swing here. Kevin Millar. Again, the former Marlin. "37-year-old for his entire career, everywhere he's gone, in many ways has faced adversity. Met it head on. Late bloomer. Has found success. World champion in Boston. Could always see the baseball very well. You know, a number of streaks at the beginning of his career back in '99. The minor leagues. Had a streak of 72 straight pro games reaching base safely.
He's got an idea when he steps into that batter's box.
And when he got to the majors, when he got to the show, his first 18 games, he reached base safely.
Didn't he have a streak with the Baltimore Orioles that set the record?
52 games.
Ken Singleton's record?
7th longest since 57 in the majors. 52 games back in '07. So does it in bunches.
He's not a guy who just goes up there and just hacks. He has an idea.
Look out. Alex Rios, high fly ball to left field, and it is gone.
That's a start. Chip away, get a little here, a little there. Make the walk hurt.
We talked about it last night. Alex Rios getting out of his slumber. 2 for 4 last night, a base hit earlier, and then this.
Drive through the ball. Watch how he drives through it. The shoulder doesn't drop. The bat head goes through the ball, and that was a no doubt about it. One of those high, long fly balls. Estimated at 363.
360 feet high, too. That one is way up there. So Rios, now Lyle Overbay. Blue Jays are on the board, trailing 5-2. And that's a good sign for the Blue Jays. Alex Rios coming around. Blue Jays offense vaunted. Lead the majors in hits, average. And a lot of that from early in the season when they came out of the gates with a fury.
Only team in baseball with over 600 hits this year.
Hitters count now for Overbay. 3-1. Rounded to first base. Flip over back to West. 2 away. Jose Bautista now. A couple of sparkling defensive plays by Bautista. Filling in for Scott Rowland, a day off today. Bautista with a home run, 9 RBIs. One of those good guys to have around your bench.
Multi talented player who can play different positions. I think it's very important. Lifts it, a fly ball to right field, and that's it. The damage is done, though. Blue Jays get 2 quickly on 1 swing of the bat. They're back in it. Still down by 3.
Blue Jay visor. You can peck your friend's head. 416-341-1234. Nice looking visor tomorrow here at the ballpark.
That'll keep the sun off.
Yeah, no kidding. Off your beak. Sunny day here today. A little hazy, but it's a nice day. Great night last night. Starting to get into some good weather in Toronto. Jeremy Hermida. Bautista. Out number 1. Hermida with a home run back in the 3rd. Dan Uggla to follow. Weather has not been summer-like, to say the least, really up until this week here.
As a player, you like when it's nice and hot, where you come out here, you get loose, you stay loose. The ball seems to carry a little bit better when it's warm.
Some people were saying, when will summer finally arrive? I was wondering when spring might get here. I miss spring.
Well, I know the Blue Jay players wish it would stay springtime, because that means the dome is closed. They don't like it when it's open, and I asked them why, and they said because we have 1 win all season long when they open the dome.
And they got off to a flying start as well right after spring. These 2 teams met final day of spring training for heading north to begin the season. 2 strikes. Big inning here for Sean Camp is needed.
Big inning and quick inning. Get them right back out on that field and get Sean West throwing again. Get your guys into that dugout. Get that momentum turned around.
Again, the Blue Jays tomorrow then have a day off Monday, then head to Philadelphia. Interleague play underway in earnest. Already had 1 interleague series, but this is where everybody now matches up. We're swept by Atlanta. The Blue Jays were. Marco Scutaro. Tavi, you talked about Scutaro and an acquisition. He was getting a chance to come over in that trade. At the time was more of a trade for a utility player, and he showed his versatility last year 53 starts at short, 39 at second, 35 at third, 4 in left, 2 at first, and 1 is the DH. Guess what? He's their shortstop this year, and he's played very well.
Yeah, the injury factor. First to Scott Rowland to start the season. He opened up as the opening day third baseman, then the injury to Aaron Hill. Played a lot of second base. Showed that he belongs. Having a great year. Lots of chances at shortstop. He has been going back and forth with the Texas Rangers, Elvis Andrus, for the most total chances for shortstops in the American League. And he only has 1 error. The other kid has 9.
Life is Timing Award. You know, you go back to when he was with Oakland, when he was their shortstop, and then kind of got into numbers game. And remember, he was part of their postseason in 2006. Started all 7 playoff games for the A's at short. Hit .333, 4 for 12.
He had a good World Baseball Classic too, didn't he, for Venezuela this spring? Their everyday shortstop.
Blue Jays in the last few years played musical shortstops. Never, you know, last year was supposed to be David Eckstein. Aaron Hill was there for a while. Johnny Mack, John McDonald. And strike 3. That is what the Blue Jays need right now. Get back in the batter's box. Quick inning from Sean Camp. Jays down 3. Head to is back on the board. Raul Chavez now leading off here for the Blue Jays. Beginning the day, 5 games over 500, 34-29, 4 games back of the division leading Boston Red Sox. Red Sox won in extra innings last night against Philadelphia. The Yankees won a walk-off against the New York Mets.
How do they do it?
After, well, they did it thanks to Luis Castillo last night. Botched a fly ball.
It wasn't even a fly ball. It was a little pop-up.
Yeah.
Well, not a little. I mean, it was up there, but it was in the infield.
Should have been caught. Was not. Yankees win. Chavez to Coghlan. And it is only June, and not even mid-June yet, but Blue Jays are closer certainly than they have been in recent memory. And we're leading the division earlier in the season. Got off to a great start.
You know what? You don't even want to be looking at the standings if you're a player right now in June.
You don't want to be buried, though.
No, no. I certainly have played on enough teams that have done that, but you know what you try to do is you start thinking about, okay, how am I going to win today's game? You don't even look at the paper. You don't even see what your record is, where you are, because those kind of things then all start to play with your mind as you're trying to compete. Well, I got to get a hit here so we can only remain 4 games out. That's no way to go about your business.
Marco Scutaro, a walk, fly ball to center field. Sean West has only given up 2 Blue Jay hits.
Big inning for him, I think. After that 2-run home run by Rios last inning, does he come back out here and still pound the strike zone? Does he give up another one?
There's out number 2. Wes Helms getting the start at third base today. Emilio Bonifacio normally there. West is doing what Ricky Nolasco did last night, but Nolasco into the 5th inning.
This looks a lot like Scott Rowland, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
Sweet hands. You know, you've got all kind of time when that ball gets down there that quickly. Plenty of time to set your feet and make a good throw.
Aaron Hill over his last 5 games. 7 for his last 21. Top of the American League hitting list, 84 on the season. 3rd in total bases, tied for 2nd in multi-hit games. Tied for 8th in RBIs. And he'll walk. And this brings up slumping Vernon Wells, who was hoping to have a little of that Alex Rios magic rub off on him.
It's been a while since we've seen a home run from Vernon Wells. This would be a great time right here.
Has not homered in 131 at bats. His last homerless drought like this, which now ties this, back in 2002, 131. But as we talked about last night, Vernon Wells is also very streaky. Kind of like an old teammate of his, Carlos Delgado.
Yeah, just like any player. You start hitting home runs and they come in bunches. It's just how long does it last?
Not this time. Ground ball. Agla touches second. Now 132. A homerless drought. 5 innings done. 5-2. Cody Ross. That bat is sizzling right now. His last 3 at bats, he's gone grand slam, double, and a 2-run shot. That double very well also could have been a home run. Ripped again. This guy's in the zone. This is another 2-bagger for Cody Ross.
Time to change the way you're going to face this guy and what you're going to throw to him. Ross did hit 22 home runs last year for the Marlins. He's been around. He's played for Detroit, Los Angeles, Cincinnati, and now Florida, and it's been a secret weapon for the Marlins. We kind of touched on the grand slams his last time up. How about 5 career pinch hit home runs? And he also threw in a scoreless inning on the mound back in April.
Yeah, that's right. Fortunately, it went a lot better than others who have done that as position players. Maybe it's that eye black. Wes Helms, nobody out. And a base hit. And a holding at third is Ross. Rios was gunning for the plate. So runners at the corners now. And the top of the order coming up.
You know, you go the other way with a runner at second base. You don't go over there to give yourself up. You go over there to try and get a base hit. Helms did that, hitting it in the right field for a single. Just it was hit too hard. Ross couldn't score from second. You don't want to see guys going over there just kind of giving themselves up. Go over there with authority.
Now Coghlan, 4 hits last night, has 1 today, a double, scored the first run, as he did last night. 5-2 Florida. Last night winning 7-3. The night that Roy Halladay left the game prematurely. Just into the 4th inning after a couple pitches. Marco Scutaro to Hill. They'll give up the run. But they get the double play. And it's 6-2.
Trade the run for a couple of outs. No RBI for Coghlan. Clear those bases. Marco Scutaro has started more double plays than any shortstop in the American League, and this is tailor-made right here. To Hill, he uses the bag as a defender, gets himself out of the way. But the Marlins will play to run, and now it's a 4-run lead.
Ross glowed. Sack's empty now. Due up for the Blue Jays in the bottom of the 6th, Adam Lind and Kevin Millar and Alex Rios. The Blue Jays on the board back in the 4th. Ground ball after the Aaron Hill. Another run scores. The lead restored to 4. Cody Ross does it again. Pacific time at Bethpage Black. Tiger Woods, who won basically on one leg last year. Playoff with Rocco Mediate. Mike Weir and Stephen Ames will be in the same threesome, teeing off on Thursday. All the action on TSN. Adam Lind leading off for the Blue Jays here in the bottom half of the 6th inning. Right now is the time to try to chip back again, down 4.
It's been a little interesting pitching line for the Marlins starter, Sean West.
Oh, Coghlan makes a nice catch, tracks that down.
Ball hit hard by Adam Lind to left field. His last time out, Sean West had a career high 6 strikeouts against the San Francisco Giants. He has yet to get one here this afternoon. He has also walked at least one batter in 4 of the 5 innings here, but the Jays have not been able to take advantage of that. A hit and a walk in the 2nd inning, a couple of flyouts, and that was that. They did have a base on balls before the Rios home run in the 4th inning. A guy that big and he throws that hard, no strikeouts this afternoon. Takes a 4-run lead into the 6th.
Third look now at Sean West from the former Marlin, Kevin Millar, and Wes Helms without number 2. Bringing up Alex Rios. Starting to come around now. 2 hits last night, 2 today, including the 2-run home run in the 4th. Only one other game underway in interleague play this afternoon. Minnesota leading the Chicago Cubs 2-0. Rich Harden back for the Chicago Cubs. Activated for the first time since May 17th.
We talked about Louis Castillo and the problems he had last night. How about Milton Bradley? In right field for the Cubbies yesterday.
You saw that Stratford sign. Near Stratford is St. Mary's, where the Canadian Baseball Hall of Fame will induct Larry Walker next weekend. Larry Walker had one of those moments, remember, with the Montreal Expos? A guy who's in the house remembers that well, Dave Van Horn. And Rios with another base hit.
You just look at the lineup a little bit differently when you're shuffled down there. So far, so good. Moving Alex Rios down to number 6. Take the pressure off a little bit, like Cito said. And now you just go up there and just swing, and good things have happened the last couple of days for Rios.
3 for 3 now. For those of you wondering about Milton Bradley, what happened yesterday. Caught a fly ball, tossed it into the crowd, started running toward his dugout and realized, there weren't 3 outs. That happened to Larry Walker before when he handed it to a fan and went back and got it. That was a classic.
That was awesome.
He came back and got it. Congratulations to Larry Walker. Canada's greatest baseball player. Position player, because Fergie Jenkins is a Hall of Famer, of course. Walker was a National League MVP a couple of times.
How can you forget about Fergie?
Oh no, as a pitcher, Fergie was the best. And his number retired with Greg Maddux.
Fergie is a great speaker. I got to listen to him about a month ago. He was in Cincinnati and he came to the Diamond Club there, telling some great stories.
Lyle Overbay. 2 balls and a strike. Alex Rios at first. Sean West seems to be slowing down here. He's only given up 3 hits, but Taking his time. Watches Rios. Delivers now. It's been a good outing. The one blemish, the 2-run home run by Rios.
He's mixed up his pitches. He's kept the Blue Jay batters a little off balance with a changeup and then that little slider that he has. Nice fluid motion.
You know, talking about Larry Walker too, and being, you know, the guy with the great numbers as a Canadian on top of so many lists. Justin Morneau may be there someday, and so too Jason Bay.
Jason Bay, boy, he's putting together some kind of year.
Overbay drills one to the gap, and they will watch it fly. Goodbye, baseball. Another 2-run shot by the Blue Jays, and they are right back in this game.
Making the most of their 4 hits. 2 2-run home runs. This ball right down Broadway, and Lyle is in one of those home run streaks of his own. Deep to right center field. And a couple of swings the last few innings, and the Jays are right back in it, and Sean West is out of it.
Out of it, only gives up 4 hits, but 2 of them were bombs. 1 to Rios, 1 to Overbay, and it's 6-4 Marlins. The week went north with that football, or baseball. Looked like a football. Splitting the uprights.
And now he'll turn it over to Brian Sanchez. 11th game for Sanchez. He is their middleman. First pitch popped up.
Popped right up. Ramirez without number 3. 1 pitch out of the bullpen. 2-run shot by Overbay. 2-run shot by Rios. It's a 2-run game. month. Toronto's 3 finalists are Jane Andres, Melanie Burton, and Richard Gosling. You can vote for them. The winners from each of the 30 Major League Baseball teams get to go to the All-Star game. A great prize package. The All-Stars Among Us. Beautiful day for a ferry ride over to Center Island. Blue Jays. First pitch swinging into the shadow. This fly ball ends up in the glove of Vernon Wells from Hanley Ramirez. Sean Camp still in the game. The Blue Jays nibbling back, down 2 now.
Yeah, this will be interesting how this one's going to play out. Marlins have a pretty deep bullpen, a pretty good bullpen. The Jays' pen has been great all season long. Camp has come in here and he has kept it close, giving the offense a chance to come back.
DH Jorge Cantu. 0 for 3 this afternoon. 0 for 5 last night. Struggled in Toronto so far. Casey Jansen started the game. Lasted into the 4th inning. A little shaky.
Nice.
Sean Camp has come in and done a nice job.
Yeah, he's had the rest like we were talking about. He's had a week off. His fastball is really exploding into right-handers, and he's got that good slider. His longest outing in his career was 5 innings against Cleveland. This is his 4th inning of work here this afternoon.
B.J. Ryan was up in the bullpen for Toronto. And it looks like Cito Gaston is going to go to that bullpen now with Jeremy Hermida due up. And the guy who began the season as the closer for the Toronto Blue Jays, B.J. Ryan, comes in after Sean Camp does an excellent job. For B.J. Ryan against left-hander Jeremy Hermida. Delivers a strike. Hermida pops this up. It's playable. Bautista calls for it in the sunshine. 3 up, 3 down. It's stretch time at Rogers Center. Sean Camp does the job. The Blue Jays down 2.
early, but it's been the home runs that have brought them back. First, Alex Rios in the 4th inning after a walk to Millar. He gets 2 back onto the board quickly. And then just last inning, Lyle Overbay after a single by Rios. 2 outs, this drive to right center field, home run number 8. The Blue Jays have pulled within 2.
Raul Chavez leading off here for the Blue Jays, then Marco Scutaro and Aaron Hill. Ryan Sanchez. Wes Helms backs up a little bit after Chavez was feigning a bunt. Such a disappointing loss for the Blue Jays last night, so many ways. The way they lost it in the 8th inning, giving up 5 runs, including the grand slam, and then of course losing Roy Halladay, and Chavez goes down on strikes.
First time a Blue Jay batter has gone down on strikes this afternoon. So the game story here has been the home runs have kept them into this game. 3 more shots at it. Cody Ross has been a thorn in the side of the Blue Jays this whole series. They'll have to figure out how to get him out when he comes back up around. They've made the most out of their 4 hits.
Now it's up to the catalyst leadoff hitter, Marco Scutaro. Just a walk for him today. 3 at-bats. Mile-an-hour fastball, 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Yeah, he'll feature that fastball, a little bit of a slider, and a changeup. He has had some time in the big leagues. Appeared in 12 games for the Nationals last year. He was signed as a minor league free agent back in November. Pitched well, and now coming out of the pen for the Marlins.
Is even, trying to bust him inside, and now full count. And he lost him. All-Star game, of course. Next month in St. Louis. You can vote for your favorite Blue Jays, whoever that may be. Fans allowed to vote a maximum of 25 times. Their email address, you can vote early and vote often at bluejays.com. You could also vote at the ballpark with the ballots, the old-fashioned way. Aaron Hill in tough and that second base category. Nothing against him, but big names up there too. Guys who are having good years. Guy coming off an MVP season, Dustin Pedroia. Robinson Cano, of course. Ian Kinsler. Ryan Roberts. Aaron Hill has played like an all-star this year, though, for the most part. Even despite that big drought he had of 0 for 25.
14 home runs, so big production for a second baseman. Got himself a chance here to look for one and see if he can tie the ball game up. Sanchez has not given up a home run this year.
Chases one. Ball and 2 strikes. Two hits last night for Aaron, including an RBI. Just the walk today. Scutero at first. Blue Jays were able to bother Sean West so much on base that they followed with home runs.
I think definitely when Rios was on base last inning, the pitch to Overbay.
1-2. Good eye, just missing inside.
You know, maybe when you have some speed over there at first base, it buys a fastball for that hitter. If there's a threat to steal, catcher might be inclined to call a few more fastballs.
Might be playable. Near the fence. And Ross glowed. Banged up as he hit the wall.
Full speed into the wall, Blackie.
Full speed against the wall, and good effort by him. Couldn't come up with a baseball, mind you. That was a tough one.
You know,
over your shoulder, the sun as well.
There's padding down there, but it's not very soft. And that right knee went right into that wall, full speed. What an effort.
Stays in there.
You know, the ball just wasn't hit high enough for him to get over there, find the wall, find the ball. It was one of those humpback liners, not very high. And he went straight into that wall.
Aaron Hill stays alive. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 away. Jays down 2. Missing outside, so Sanchez has to be good here. To Aaron Hill. So far, it's been a day of 2-run home runs for the Blue Jays.
Boy, you got to figure he's got to challenge him right here, right? Doesn't want to walk him and face the middle of the lineup.
Missed it.
He did challenge him with a fastball. But he missed, and now a chance for Vernon Wells.
Mark Wiley coming out again. That Marlin bullpen is up.
He wanted that fastball away, but it came inside. So a couple of walks now have set this inning up for the 3 and 4 hitter.
Mound meeting. Vernon Wells 0 for 3 today. 0 for his last 12, and we talked about the homerless drought. Right now, Vernon wants to just hit it anywhere where nobody is.
He just wants to put a good swing on it and hit it hard. If you do that, good things are going to happen, I think. I'm sure a home run is the furthest thing from his mind right now. How about a gapper? Split those outfielders. Let's watch Aaron Hill run. That's what we used to say on the bench. Let's watch Aaron Hill run here, Werner. Come on.
I got some speed on the pass.
Yeah.
2 on, 1 away. Helms goes to second, throws it away. He threw it away. Here comes Scudero to the plate. Oh my. And everybody's safe.
When we were flashing the defense for the Marlins this afternoon, we told you they've committed 53 errors that have led to 36 unearned runs. Well, here's 54 and 37. Did Dan Ugla, the second baseman, hear footsteps from Aaron Hill? It looked like a double play ball, but it pulled Ugla off the bag. Sets his feet, makes the throw, and it's into right field, and the Blue Jays are in business.
Are they ever? It's a 1-run ball game. Like a tailor-made play at second, it wasn't. We'll be back. This inning because of walks and a costly error, and now they trail by just 1, and Adam Lind is coming to the dish.
Yeah, their best RBI man, but he's going to have to face Dan Meyer, who pitched in last night's game and got the win through 1 inning. Had a strikeout, did Meyer. That strikeout against Joe England picked up his first win of the season.
Vernon Wells gets to first base on a fielder's choice. The error to Helms. As the run scores, Scudero making it a 6-5 game. So Hill at second, Wells at first. Lefty on lefty.
What you'll get from Dan Meyer, you'll see lots of cutters, Fastball, a little bit of a changeup. Adam Lind has had no problem versus lefties this year, hitting over 320 against them. This is the Marlins' only lefty they have in that pen.
Two and nothing to Lind. Kevin Millar on deck. Oh for 3 day for Adam Lind so far. 0-4 last night. Fouls it away.
They have a deep bullpen to the Marlins, and they use them a lot. They lead the major leagues in innings pitched coming into this game with 216. There's Lind's numbers versus lefties this year, over 320. 2 of his 12 home runs against left-handers. The Marlins bullpen also lead the major leagues in strikeouts with over 200, 211.
Big cut there from Lind.
Hanging breaking ball. Home run cut by Adam Lind. Now he'll get into that 2-strike approach right here where he sprays the ball up the alley in left center.
To center field. Aaron Hill halfway. Gets back to second base, and now 2 out here in the 7th.
Boy, and Kevin Millar ran up to the plate there wanting to face the left-hander, but I don't think he's going to have a shot at him.
No, he will not. They come to the mound. Freddie Gonzalez will go to his bullpen again. One-run game here in the 7th. 2 on, and we'll come back in a moment. Leo Nunez comes into the ball game, right-hander to face Kevin Millar here in the 7th.
He was part of that very good Kansas City Royals bullpen last year. The Marlins got him in exchange for Mike Jacobs back in October. Throws hard. He can reach 96 miles an hour with that fastball. He'll also throw a little bit of a slider and a changeup. Millar was sitting all over a first pitch fastball.
Millar walked earlier. That's the only thing he's done today. A couple of outs, but did score a run when Rios homered. Trying to bust out of a slump himself. 7 for his last 45 for his last 14 games. Against a team he used to play for. Ground ball, Ramirez make the play to first. And that's it. The Blue Jays only get one. Leave 2 on the base paths. It's 6-5 after 7 here at Rogers Center. The Marlins lead. Tweaked his groin. We have received word from the Blue Jays that it has been diagnosed as a mild groin strain. And Roy Halladay right now is listed day-to-day.
So most certainly not pitch his next start. I'll tell you why I'm thinking. Because we talked about it earlier. It's a game in a National League park where he would have to hit and run the bases.
Makes
and
no
swing.
sense.
Yeah. So no DL. That's good news right now.
Dan Ugla. This one to the gap. Vernon Wells has to come a long way to the wall, and he makes the catch. Whoa, he had to come a long way for that one. Into the shadows.
Yeah, he did, because I don't think Adam Lynn got a good read on that ball. You see him kind of hesitate just a little bit, the ball off the bat, and then look to Vernon Wells to run it down, which he does right in front of that auxiliary scoreboard. BJ likes that. Great catch by Wells in left center.
Now lefty on lefty. John Baker, the catcher, followed by Cody Ross, who's inflicted some serious damage on the Blue Jays the last 2 games. This is a 1-run ball game. 6-5 Florida, top of the 8th. Jay Ryan, another one of those Blue Jays trying to regain his form. couple of seasons of having the closer mentality. Of course, he was shut down for a year, an arm injury. 3-1, straight up in the air, right on the cusp of the shadow. Vernon Wells.
That one a little bit easier than the last one.
Yeah.
Didn't have to go too far on that one.
And Cedal Gaston is not going to let B.J. Ryan pitch to Cody Ross. He's had a 2-run home run in this game and 2 doubles and a grand slam last night. He will bat when we come back to Rogers Center. Jason Fraser coming in the game. Two out here in the 8th inning. And coming to the plate will be Cody Ross to face Jason Fraser.
You want to stop a hot hitter? Bring in a hot pitcher. Fraser has got great numbers this year. Just 3 walks in his 23 innings. Worked a couple of nights ago down in Texas. Punched out 3 of the 5 batters that he faced. Good fastball. And his changeup has really been the equalizer this year for him.
Look at those numbers today, going back to last night. In the 8th inning, hit a grand slam home run. Often the most important pitch right there. First pitch, a strike.
Yeah, it just opens up everything else that Fraser has. A little bit of a breaking ball, and then he'll throw that split change. That's been great for him.
Alex Rios charging, but it's foul, and so way ahead now of Cody Ross. Alex Rios will lead off for the Blue Jays. The bottom of the 8th, 3 for 3 day. Same as this guy. The 0-2 pitch. Downstairs trying to get him to chase. Blue Jays have had to battle back all day and last night. Again, Ross will not go after that. So the count is even 2-2.
they've battled back all season long. Really no never say die type of offense.
A lot of come from behind wins.
Marlins have 14 come from behind wins this year. Blue Jays also have 14 come from behind wins.
2-2.
Boy, you're really seeing the ball when you fall behind 0-2 and you throw a slider, a couple of changeups, and you're able to take it. And you take it when you're in hitting position, meaning your hands are back, your weight is back, and you're ready to swing it. You just see it so well. You know it's out of the strike zone.
Do not want to give him a gift here. 3-2. Wes Helms on deck. Got him. Look at Ross. Strike 3 from Jason Frazier. Alex Rios, Lyle Overbay, and Jose Bautista due up for the Blue Jays, down 1. Bottom of the 8th, straight up from Rogers Center. The Marlins have out-hit the Blue Jays 10-4 in this game, but this is a very close ball game right now, and it's ripe for the taking for the Blue Jays.
Yeah, get that first guy on. Take your chances. They've made the most of their 4 hits, and the home run has been the big key for them today.
Alex Rios, talk about getting out of his slump. 2 hits last night, 3 today, 3 for 3. Including a 2-run home run, got the Blue Jays on the board in the 4th. Lyle Overbay then brought Rios home in the 6th with a 2-run blast. Ball and 2 strikes.
No doubles defense right now for the Marlins. Wes Helms, the third baseman, right on that line. The outfield is deep and pulled around the left field. We don't need a double right now. I think Rios, if he can get on base, we saw it in last night's game. He's got a speed that he can be on third in a couple of pitches. He stole second last night. He then stole third.
Broken bat up the middle. Ugla has to hurry. He boots it.
Even if he comes up with that, they were not going to get Rios. That one was placed perfectly.
It is ruled a base hit. 4 for 4 day for Alex Rios. He's back.
Once it got by Nunez, no one was going to get Rios. Right there. You see Nunez kind of reach out there. Too much speed, so that's a good start right now. A runner on. You got the hole open on the right side, and Lyle Overbay, who's been swinging a hot bat now at the dish.
Nobody out. And again, Rios stole 2 bases last night. 9 on the season.
He got to second base his first time up and tried to steal third. but the ball was hit into the outfield.
Overbay, a 2-run shot in the 6th. His 8th home run. Rios also with his 8th of the season. This game did not look like it was going the Blue Jays' way early on. Down 5-0, then down 6-2. They have battled back. It's 6-5 and 20,000 plus are anticipating a Blue Jay comeback even more. Reds and Jays, our next broadcast on TSN Wednesday, June 24th. We'll have the game on the 25th as well. Interleague play continuing.
If they could make it all the way back, get a couple of runs here and then hold them, it would be their largest comeback win of the season.
Largest lead overcome is 3. Done it 3 times. There goes Rios. There's the throw down, and Rios has stolen another base. In scoring position. The tying run is at second base.
I think he picked a good pitch to run on. It looked like a changeup from Nunez. So it took just a little bit longer to get to home plate. Baker has thrown out 6 of 39 base runners now. Good throw, but Rios' speed gets him underneath the tag.
Here we go. No. Mike Winters, last night's home plate umpire, down the third base line. Runners in scoring position today. The Blue Jays, however, 0 for 5. What a great opportunity here. Nobody out. Good count for Overbay.
Good hard fastball at a good location, up and away. Fastball seems to rise from Nunez, doesn't it? That's where you want to throw, with a runner at second and nobody out.
And he got him. Strike 3.
Yeah, it's like he says, you know what, I'll take it myself. A 93-mile-an-hour fastball, and then he comes right back, same pitch, same location, and Lyle swings right through it.
Jose Bautista with Rios at second and 1 away. Rod Barajas has come into the on-deck circle. He will bat for Raul Chavez and come into the ball game. We are in the 8th inning. Florida Marlins leading 6-5, trying to take the first 2 games of this interleague series.
Let's watch Rios very carefully now with 1 out and a right-handed batter up. A little bit harder for the catcher to throw around a right-handed hitter if Rios tries to steal third. Dan Ugler, the second baseman, is trying to get the attention of Leo Nunez, the pitcher, to try and put some kind of pickoff play on.
This is outside. Last night's game was close to the 8th inning, and the Marlins broke it open. Close one here again today in the 8th. Jays trying to bounce back.
You see Ugla getting a little bit closer to second base, really keeping his eye on Rios. There he goes.
Down to third. Got him. Baker throws him out. Very close play at third.
Yeah, and he had to go around Jose Bautista. Fastball in the outer half. You see Rios with 2 feet on the carpet. I'm not so sure that he didn't get his foot in there.
Yeah, I agree with you. Let's take a look here. Here's Helms.
Watch where he tags him.
Well, pretty close.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mike Winters with the call. So Helms applies the tag. Remember, he was the guy who threw it into right field in the last inning. So a Blue Jays threat here snuffed out.
Right-handed batter, boy, just stand right there, make him go around you.
I was wondering why he ducked there. And that's strike 3. It unravels for the Blue Jays when Alex Rios gets on base and Leo Nunez does the job. Thanks to John Baker and the throwdown to get Rios. We head to the 9th. 6-5 Fish. Quite a day for Alex Rios. 4 for 4, but caught stealing.
I have no problem with that.
No.
I really don't. You know, you're trying to make something happen. It had to be a perfect throw from Baker, and it was. And he still got him by an eyelash.
Wes Helms leading off, the number 9 hitter. Applied that tag to Rios. And just past the outstretched glove of Aaron Hill. So a base hit here to open up the 9th inning for the Marlins. Blue Jays trailing by 1 here. Cannot afford to give up any more insurance runs for Florida. Chris Coghlan now. Cito Gaston will make the change. Scott Downs will come into the game. Jason Fraser will leave.
Move over to first base, and maybe you can freeze that runner just a little bit so you can try and get that play at second base. You got to figure that the Marlins are going to try and sacrifice here. So with a lefty on the mound, the runner has to freeze just a little bit longer over at first base, and maybe they can get that lead runner if it decides to bunt. Downs is quick off the mound too. Good fielder.
Here's Coghlan squaring. And fouls it away. Raul Chavez still in the game, even though Rod Barajas came in the on-deck circle in the previous inning. Checking Helms again. Fouled again. So 0-2 now to Chris Coghlan.
Let's see if Freddie Gonzalez keeps the sacrifice on, even though there are 2 strikes on the batter. Coghlan taking a long look down at third base coach Bo Porter. The Blue Jays think he's going to still sacrifice. Jose Bautista, the third baseman, still way in. Just watch the head of the bat now.
Swinging now. Bautista takes a step back.
You know, it doesn't mean that he's going to go ahead and swing away here, even though he has 2 strikes. I have seen managers then put it back on because the infielders back off.
And he got him. Big out there. Coghlan down on strikes. Ross Glode strides to the plate.
There's that breaking ball from Scott Downs. No chance for Coghlan as he waves at it.
Another big swing there. Chavez is scheduled to bat first, the bottom of the ninth and the top of the order. Cito Gaston has options. Right now, Blue Jays just want to keep it at 1 run. Vernon Wells tracks in the shadow. 2 away. On the bench today, Joe Inglet, Scott Rowland, John McDonald, and Rod Barajas.
Yeah, we saw Rod out there. Runners on base. He was going to use Barajas. We might see Joe Inglet. If it stays just like this and Matt Lindstrom, the closer for the Marlins, comes in, Inglet a little smaller. He can work that walk, a little bit better back control. He's got his batting gloves on. He looks like he's ready. Probably been getting some hacks underneath the stands in between innings.
Hanley Ramirez, though, represents the final out. Blue Jays can get it. Marlins led 5-0 off of Casey Jansen early. Blue Jays battled back. It was 5-2, then 6-2, and now 6-5. Way ahead of Ramirez again. We talked about this being a bounce back day. Day after the first game back after a trip to Texas. Losing Roy Halladay, losing a game last night.
And if they can make a comeback and win the game, we've seen that in the past where that momentum carries them for a good week to 10 days.
They still have work to do, though. Downs strikes out Ramirez. Likely see Joe Inglet, Marco Scutaro, and Aaron Hill. Bottom of the ninth. Blue getting the afternoon off until now. Big hack. 97 miles an hour from Lindstrom. He can hump it up.
Yeah, he'll pitch at the top of the strike zone with that fastball, and he's got a good breaking ball. But you got to make him throw it over the plate. Talked about some of the meltdowns that he had against the Pirates. 2/3 of an inning, gave up 7 runs. They got him from the Mets a couple of years ago. We were talking earlier about scouting other teams and stealing players from other organizations. This is one of the guys. They got him for Adam Bostock and Jason Vargas.
Drill, base hit. Blows it by Wes Helms.
Just a second pitch hit, base hit for the Blue Jays this year. Now, this is why I like how the Blue Jays play it. They play percentages. They don't play the line just because you're up by 1 run. And if Wes Helms, the third baseman, is playing a straight-up third base, he makes this play easily. Chances are you're not going to pull a guy who throws 97 miles an hour, but they play him on the line. Barajas takes advantage of it and rips it by him for a leadoff single.
Barajas not exactly a sprinter at first base. Marco Scutaro. Nobody out. Tying run at first. Blue Jays trying to come all the way back. Scutaro squares. Barajas down to second, and the sacrifice works out. 1 away.
Rogers Blue Jays Baseball on TSN is brought to you by Rogers High-Speed Internet. The fastest and most reliable, period. Visit Rogers.com/fastest internet.
So now the tying run is at second. Sacrifice bunt by Marco Scutaro, and Aaron Hill to the plate. 2 walks today for Hill. Vernon Wells on deck. Hopped up. Agla calls for it. Now 2 away.
You know you're going to at some time get a fastball from Matt Lindstrom. No chance to pinch run for Rod Barajas. No catcher.
No catcher. So now here's where it gets dicey too. The onus on Nick Leyva as well, depending on where this ball, should Wells get a base hit.
Well, you got to take a chance, even if it's hit like a bullet into the outfield. Rod's got to get a big secondary lead out at second.
Vernon Wells. First pitch is a ball.
So you get your normal lead out at second base, and as Lindstrom goes home, you get a big secondary lead. Make sure you land on that right foot so your momentum's carrying you to third base. That'll help you get a big jump.
Down the right field line. Foul. Ball and a strike now. 2 outs. Marlins lead by 1 here in the bottom of the 9th. Blue Jays are 0 for 7 today. with runners in scoring position. Trying to climb the ladder. 2-1 now.
Yeah, they know Vernon will go after that high fastball. But over the years, we've seen him get on top of those. Remember a couple of years ago against Josh Beckett, he tried to throw one about neck high, and he hit it in the second deck here.
Count is even now. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 96 miles an hour, that heater. Come with the hook this time?
He's got a good one. Got a very good breaking ball. And I think that's what they want to talk about here out on the mound. If you do throw it, you better think about keeping it down. You throw that over the middle of the plate, good hitters, speeds their bat up. Next thing you know, it's in the seats.
All up to Vernon Wells right now for the Blue Jays. Barajas at second. He's the tying run. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Got him. Ball game over. The Blue Jays cannot come all the way back. The tying run is stranded.
That's the thing when you have a reliever, when you've got runners on base who throw that hard, they could end an inning quickly with a good fastball.
Hero yesterday.